Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Frugal Me Live, where we talk about all things about your finances. Tonight, we're talking about grocery hauls and also meal planning with Joel and Christy from the Long Run with Joel and Christy. Hi, Joel and Christy. How are y'all doing tonight?
Hey, guys.
It is so good seeing you guys talking about meal planning and also grocery hauls.
Absolutely.
And,
yes.
And before we get started, I want to give a special shout out to Keisha that's working in the background, keeping everything together. Just couldn't do it without her. So Joel and Christy, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and how people can find you?
We are on the YouTube channel, The Long Run with Joel and Christy. We are on Instagram as well, and we were fortunate enough to get our full name on Instagram, so it's The Long Run with Joel and Christy. So pretty easy to find us in both locations. Just The Long Run with Joel and Christy.
Oh, awesome! And I also have your link in the description box below as well. So for anyone that's catching it now or on the playback that want to go check out Joel and Christy, they have amazing things on their channel. A lot of grocery hauls and a lot of Walmart hauls as well, and cooking in the kitchen. So that's just so amazing. So what inspired you to start going on the grocery hauls and also meal planning at home?
Well, I guess our big aha moment was about 7.5 years ago now. I lost my job. We had started kind of budgeting a little better about 6 months before that. So it kind of gave us a kind of an idea of what we needed to do when that actually hit us. And so we started in the beginning doing a lot of freezer meals and trying to
meal plan for a month.
Oh, wow. We realized that didn't work for us. A lot of the stuff that we were freezing, it just didn't work. And so Christy sat down and just started planning out our meals and saying, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is what we'd like to do. Hey, trying to figure out the best ways to make things and the best way to buy things. And we found out that it's a lot easier to stay in your budget when you meal plan than it is to not to. So,
But as he said, a month didn't work for us. It doesn't have to be a big month, and it doesn't have to be all freezer meals. There's other ways to do it. You just have to figure out what works best for you and your situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So you already hit on it. So the big eye opener for you was pretty much it was job loss. So I'm not trying to get too much into your business, but what did that conversation look like? Like what transpired you to say, this is what we need to do in that conversation?
As far as meal planning and stuff?
Yes.
I mean, we thought we were doing it before that, but we really weren't. We would just randomly throw out some and we'd use half of it and then eat out the other rest of the week. Because we weren't sticking to it. But when that happened, I started watching YouTube channels for budgeting tips and frugal living tips and stuff, just anything that I could figure out that would save us a few bucks, because we were in a situation where he had lost his job and my pay wasn't enough to cover anything but the mortgage. Sorry. So it was like a necessary thing. And I found a ton of stuff on the internet. There's a wealth of YouTube channels that teach how to do it. But at that time, most of them were saying that it's changed a lot over the years, but most of them at the time were saying, do a month. You need to meal plan for a month and grocery shop once a month and don't go any more than that. And so it was really, that's where we got all that information from, was YouTube.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And that's one thing I like about your channel as well, because it's not really talking over people's heads. It's pretty much practical tips that you can use, like even from your pantry. that y'all have out there. And it's not saying, well, go out and buy this, buy that, but you're going on hauls too. And that's helping people save so much money, even in the process, because here with 2 kids with a great appetite now, they have a very healthy appetite. I know that just preparing food can take out so much money out of our budget here at home as well. So
yeah, when we started, we had 2 kids with big appetites too.
Sons.
Yeah, 2 sons with big appetites.
They're adults now, and one doesn't live with us anymore. But at the time, they were both still home. So,
so what are some cooking ideas, recipes that you would recommend that helps you save money?
Cooking ideas. Our basic one is that you can make a lot of stuff that we've all learned just to buy it. You know, like canned cream of chicken soup. You can make that at home with a little flour, a little butter, a little chicken broth, and a little milk and a few spices. And you've got the same thing in 10 minutes. And it costs less, and it's actually healthier for you because canned cream of chicken tends to have, you know, some processed items in it to make it shelf stable.
And lots of sodium.
Yeah, a lot of sodium. So we make our own vanilla extract. We make
our own chicken broth.
Make our own homemade chicken broth instead of buying boxed broth in the store. Again, healthier and cheaper, because all you have to do is keep your chicken bones when you're cooking. Keep the bones, save them up when you have enough to fill up a crock pot, and you pour it with water, let it steam for a while, and you've got chicken broth. So just things like that. We make our own seasoning blends instead of buying like taco seasoning packets, and items like that just are easier in my mind. An easy way to cut down the sodium in the process without spending tons of time on it.
Yeah, and plan meals that can get you several days of use. And by that, we'll do a spatchcock chicken that we'll eat one night, and then the next night we'll do like a chicken and wild rice soup or a chicken and shrimp gumbo or something like that.
Usually we'll get 2 meals out of that.
So we'll get 2 meals out of that. For Thanksgiving, our turkey's going to get us at least probably 3 or 4 meals. Once we cook it on Thanksgiving Day, we'll probably eat through the weekend on that.
We've already planned out the leftovers. We don't just say we're going to eat the leftovers. We go ahead and plan those meals for what we're going to use the leftover chicken or turkey or whatever for.
Yep.
So that we're not guessing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So even if it's, I know the other day we had chicken. It was fried chicken. Then Keisha went back and took the chicken off of there, put it into the, I guess, magic bullet, whatever you call it. Then we went back and had chicken salad for the next day.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Make your meals last more than one meal. I mean, we do a few every week that are just simple, and we'll only one meal, but then we always do like one thing that's going to stretch at least 2 to 3 meals as another one, so that we're not buying meals for every single night of the week.
So. That makes a lot of sense too. We have a question here from Shay TV. It says, is it possible to use coupons that were from MeterMark as an assessive tool?
I don't. Do you know? I don't know what MeterMark is.
Yeah, we haven't used MeterMark.
Yeah, I'm not sure what MeterMark is. I'm interested though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Shay TV, if you just want to explain that to us in the comments, we are going to throw that back up there because I'm curious as well.
Yeah.
About that.
I have to do some research. I don't know what that is.
So I know whenever meal planning, and here at home, Keisha, she takes care of most of the meal planning. Yeah. But I know that one thing is sometimes people get caught up in the rut of doing it over and over and over. So how can you come up with new and fresh meal ideas and not get stuck in that rut?
a couple of things that we do. First is Pinterest is our go-to for new recipes. But what we do is we plan every month to try 2 new recipes that we've never used before. We just look on Pinterest for it. We'll like choose a protein from our freezer, say a chicken recipe or something like that. We'll just go to Pinterest and look for a chicken recipe or something like that. And then we'll try it. If we end up liking it, which we almost always do, we add that to our rotation, so to speak. Yep. And if we don't, then we just say, but we've never had a recipe that we were just like, well, that was a huge mistake. Yeah. We were more like, we did a pasta e fagioli, and neither one of us really cared for the noodles that was in it, but it was edible. We just were like, eh. But other than that, we've always had kind of like a success in that. Then we add it to our recipe list, and then when we meal plan, we look at that recipe list, and we have built up enough of a list at this point now that we don't have to have the same thing every week. And so that way we don't get bored with it because we're not eating the same thing every week. And now that we're doing recipe of the week, I really focus on trying to add a different one every week so that people won't feel like you've already done all those.
Oh, yeah. And I'm also noticing Shay TV's question above that about Groupon and honey.
Oh, yeah, you can answer that.
Yeah, we use both of those. We use Groupon for a lot of things. We use honey for a lot of stuff. We use Ibotta. We use a lot of the web browser extensions.
Mm-hmm. We also have Ibotta, which we mentioned is also a web browser now. So if you do grocery pickup, it'll pick up and give you your rebates off of your grocery shopping. So.
And yes, it can be cheaper to use Groupon. We used Groupon when we took a trip to Vegas for our 25th anniversary a couple of years ago.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you. Yeah, 28 this year, 28. So we're moving towards 30.
It was also kind of like our debt-free vacation because that was the first time we went when we didn't have debt.
Yeah, and we got my boss was kind enough to compass a room for a couple of nights, and we got some pretty cheap flights, and we used Groupon for a lot of the stuff that we did. Mm-hmm. And we came out not spending a ton of money in Las Vegas. So we're not big gamblers, so we didn't spend a lot of money there, but we still had a good time going in and out of the casinos and seeing the different things there on the strip. So it was really good. But yeah, we use Groupon for that. We use Groupon a lot for other things. Like I said, honey, Rakuten. Invisible Hand is another good one. They can give you some good savings on your online shopping.
It looks on the other websites, and it'll tell you if there's a better deal on a different website than what you're actually on. If you're like on Amazon, it'll tell you, oh, we found a deal that's $10 here. So, and it'll give you a link and you just go over to it. So yeah, Invisible Hand, honey, Ibotta, all those are really good.
Yep.
He has another question. Best advice to budget birthday parties. If it's kids, I would say don't feel like you have to do like a meal. Like just do some cupcakes or something like that. Because kids don't care. But they don't feel like they have to come over and eat a big meal with you. If it's adults, making as much as you can from scratch, but it's really hard. Like,
but I'm not sure what, and I'm looking over at Keisha now. Would you do like spaghetti for a birthday dinner? Oh, okay. She said no.
That is a go thing for churches. It's like, oh, we don't have any money. Let's do some spaghetti.
Oh, yeah.
But Birthday party. I've never been to a spaghetti dinner party. I mean, we're Southern. When we got married for the rehearsal dinner, Joel's mother made cornbread dressing, and I guess it was turkeys.
Yeah,
something like that, and that was really cost effective. But that's a real Southern like thing. The cornbread dressing in itself is known for being something that people eat like that are on a budget, unless it's Christmas or Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and Keisha is over here saying finger foods, like the sandwiches with the crust cut off and stuff like that.
Yeah, make it more like that instead of a like big dinner thing. Yeah, I would agree with that.
So how often do you meal plan?
Every 2 weeks.
Yeah, every 2 weeks. Sometimes we shop for a week, and it kind of goes something like this. Hey, what do we eat this week? I don't know what do you want to eat this week. I don't know what do you want to eat this week. And then we usually come up with something. Not really, but you know.
Yeah, no. Seriously, what we normally do is while he's at work, I go through the freezer and the pantry and everything, make sure my inventory is up to date, and then when he's available, then we start talking about like based on, because we're more of like a protein and something type, you know. We don't do very many, like we wouldn't be doing a meatless dinner. He's just not going to eat that. So, so we say, okay, I say, we've got this many packs of chicken. We have this many packs of ground beef and this, and then that's left over from when we bulk purchase the meat. And so then we start talking about, we look at the recipe list and then we determine the meals off of that, based on the inventory that we already have, and then figure out a few things to throw in there. Like we don't tend to have shrimp in bulk, but we might say, oh, let's do a shrimp dish or something like that. But other than that, that's pretty much it, is checking the freezer first and then meal planning second. So.
Okay, that kind of pretty much hit on my next thing I wanted to ask, as what does that process look like with the meal planning? So I think that was knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, I do in Google Sheets is where I do all my planning. I have the recipe list on a Google Sheet. I have the actual grocery list on one, and then I have like a place to put ingredients. And since we do 2 weeks at one time, I keep special notice of the ones that are going to be on the second week, because I don't want to buy fresh produce for those recipes on the first week. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Just summarizing it that way in Google Sheets. And we have that document linked to our phones so that we can use it as a grocery shopping list in the grocery store. So.
Okay. So you plan every 2 weeks. Do you go to the store every 2 weeks as well after you do the plan, or how often do you go to the store?
We still go once a week. It's just usually when we plan for 2 weeks, the second week is more just to buy produce. Things that may not last the whole 2 weeks.
And things like Cheetos, because Joel
forgot to buy of course, Cheetos.
A grocery haul in our house without Cheetos in it.
Oh, that is so awesome. So how do you go about finding those hauls and those best deals? Is it like using coupons or going to the different stores when you do your hauls? How do you find those deals?
We tend to, we changed over this last year. A year ago, when we lived in Houston, we had a wealth of grocery stores within a short distance. We had an Aldi, a Kroger, a Randall's, an H-E-B, and Walmart, all within just a couple of miles of us. And so we really were able to maximize savings there because there were so many options. And we did do the rebate apps and things like that. Here we have 3 really good stores. Aldi, Walmart, and Sam's Club. So the way that we've kind of transitioned was his work gave him a membership to Sam's Club. So now we. Oh. Okay, that last comment is somebody knows Joel. Anyway, so we go to Sam's Club once a month, buy in bulk for the meat purchases because we have found them to have the best prices pretty much all the time as far as the meat or proteins go, and then the rest we either do Walmart or Aldi, and as kind of based more on what we need mostly, because Aldi has really great prices, but doesn't always have all the things we need. So then it's like, do we have time to go to 3 stores or 2 stores or just 1 store? So we kind of base it off that, and we use the rebate apps to keep us, to help us get some money back. So.
Okay. And another question coming in from Shay TV. How much money do you spend a week on food?
We average we set a monthly budget of $600, and that's for 3 adults. And we usually come in around $400, $450 for the month. Sometimes $500. We and the excess of that goes into what we call our household essentials fund, which we don't include things like toilet tissue or household items in our grocery budget. It's just food items. And so we probably come in about $400, $450 a month, sometimes $500. So it's probably around $100, sometimes less, just depending on which week it is, about $100 to $125 a week.
Month, yeah.
For groceries for 3 adults in the home.
Yeah, we don't budget per week, we budget per month, but that would probably be what it would average out to be. And another thing I would say real quick that saves money, as he mentioned, household essentials. We do use like cloth towels. We use our flour sack towels instead of paper towels. Things like that would help reduce how many those household essentials you have to buy. Might help as well lower a grocery bill.
Okay. And how much of that money is spent on Joel's Cheetos? I'm laughing at Asia Sierra.
Yeah. Right now I have 2 unopened bag of Cheetos in the pantry. So,
she said Joel loves it.
Unopened is impressive.
Yeah.
So does that include going out as well?
It does not. Going out to eat is in our fund budget, fund money budget item,
yes,
budget line. So we do budget for going out to eat, and so that's not included in our grocery haul money.
Yeah, we don't. Let's see. Every Sunday before we go to get groceries, we usually get some breakfast somewhere. So that is about like how much we eat out. It's like getting breakfast somewhere on Sunday mornings. So,
yep.
And that's usually just the 2 of us. Our son doesn't go anywhere. Yep.
Okay. So whenever you're going out on the haul, and I know this is probably just like it's a bit field here, but what would you say was one of the best deals that you have ever found whenever you went on a haul?
Wow.
Last year we got a turkey for 29 cents per pound. That was pretty amazing.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That
was in Houston. Like I said, there was a Randall's, which is not doesn't have great grocery prices for their normal stuff, but they will run sales to get you to come in the store.
Yeah. So
if you go in there and just get that and then leave,
sign up for their shopper's card, whether you're going to be
if you're in an area
that has that for any kind of grocery store, sign up for their shopper's card, like your Kroger card or your Randall's card, or things like that.
Yeah, we used to get really good deals.
When they run deals for members, it doesn't cost you anything. and then they run deals for people with the membership cards, and then you can go in, buy whatever items you need. Then that's how you get a turkey for 28 cents a pound. Finding when they had the sale, you go in, you get that, and then you come back and that's all you go and get. But make sure that you're going in just to get those things, and then you head back out. Yeah,
because everything else is like $1 more than you would spend anywhere else.
Yeah, we went to Randall's one time with their deals, and we got $100 worth of things for about $45. Yeah, just from the deals they were running that particular week.
Yeah, they used to put cases of Cokes on sale that was like 3 cases of Cokes for $7.77, and it was all about trying to get you to come in the store.
Yeah,
and we used to get pretty good deals with Kroger's too. We don't have that here either. So, but it was in the app. It seems to be always in the store app where you get things like that.
All right. So, I'm sorry.
You want to ask us about the online grocery?
Oh, yes. Yes, you dropped it over
there. Yes, especially when COVID happened, back in March, everybody was doing grocery pickup, right? It was just easier to get it picked up than to try to figure out how to get into the store, And we had done it a few times before. We're not a huge fan of grocery pickup just because we like to pick up our own produce. I feel like sometimes they just reach in for whatever their hand lands on is what you end up getting, even if it's not like it looks spoiled.
And we've also tried the Amazon Fresh, I think it's called.
We put in all the stuff and realized that was
it just didn't work for us. It was
the budget was
it was more expensive, and that's what one of the comments that's coming up there.
It's more expensive.
Sometimes it's more expensive than actually going to the store. So we tried that. Didn't really work for us, but we do like to online grocery pickups from Walmart and different grocery stores. So.
You do have to watch certain items though, because I will say we did. We have noticed, and like everything's the same price as it would have been if you went in the store, except 2 or 3 things for some reason have an upcharge to it. And why is that? Like we noticed it with the Cheetos one time. It was like 75 cents more. And you know how much Cheetos we get.
Hurt me.
And then there was something. It was in HEB in Houston that I was putting stuff into their grocery pickup, and it was something that we always bought in the store. And immediately when I saw it, I was like, that's not how much that cost. And so we ended up going in the store instead. And sure enough, it was marked what it always was.
They marked their prices up about 3 to 5% online for grocery pickup than they did in the actual store. Most stores don't do that. Walmart doesn't do that. And
not except a few items, but it was pretty much across the board without out.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Can I give a quick shout out to one of my team members?
Absolutely.
Right now. Hey, Sarah, I see you there. Oh, my word. Okay. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Apparently, he says, oh, my word, a lot. So they're making fun of him.
And this is a little off of the topic of grocery haul and shopping as well, cooking at home. But I see a comment here. It says, what is the key to a long marriage? 28 years is amazing.
You want to answer that? Forgive.
Yeah. Communication and forgiveness. That's the key to pretty much everything.
You can't live with anybody 28 years without getting annoyed by them about something. You have to learn to forgive often.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Asia.
Find somebody you like. You know what I'm saying? If you want to spend your lifetime with somebody, might be somebody you're going to like. So.
If you put laugh together, there's a problem.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what is the biggest mistake that you think people make whenever it comes to hauls and meal planning?
I think as far as meal planning go is not doing it. And then not sticking to your meal plan once you get into the store. I think Asia made a comment there about always overspending in the grocery store. She always breaks the rules. You got to stick to the rules. You got to stick to what your budget is. You got to stick to what your plan is. Doesn't mean you can't throw in some Oreos or an extra bag of Cheetos every now and then. However, stick to that. Stick to what your plan is for the week or the 2 weeks. And then once you go to the store, just discipline yourself to say, hey, I'm going to stick to this. Because I'm more of the person that I'm going to throw in an extra thing of Oreos or an extra bag of Cheetos or something extra if I don't discipline myself not to do it. So, I think another big thing is comparing unit price for different items.
Yes.
Sometimes you think something's cheaper somewhere else because it costs less, because the actual cost is less than what it is in the other store. But if you're not checking the unit price, you may be whatever costs less. Maybe it costs $1 over here and it costs $3 over here, but you're getting less in the bag for what's $1 than you are for what's $3. And so maybe the unit price for the dollar item over in store A is 28 cents per ounce. The one that's $3 over at store B is only 20 cents per ounce, and so you're better off getting the one in store B, even though it costs more. The unit price is more, so you get more product.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So is there anything else that you want to share related to hauls, meal planning, cooking at home, or anything in general?
I would say don't. I know it's not hard. It's hard, but don't compare your grocery hauls to somebody else's. I know that sounds really weird because we share grocery hauls, but it's to give ideas of things that you might be missing and to help you apply ideas. But the truth is that, my story is, he runs marathons, so he eats a lot of food, and I'm on a health journey, and we have another adult in our house that eats, but somebody else may have 5 kids. And so for them to try to fit into our budget isn't going to necessarily work. So you have to maybe take application from people that you see, but don't feel like you have to fit into it. Like there's a lot of people out there that sees someone who goes and gets $43 worth of groceries and thinks something is wrong with them if they can't go and get just $43 worth of groceries, but they may have a different story. So just, try not to compare.
Yeah, comparison is the thief of joy. And we want people to have joy. We want them to take what they can from us, but, not everything we say is going to be for everybody. So take what you can, and what you can't, then that's fine. Maybe something else will help somebody else. So.
That's a powerful quote. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
You're a poet. That was awesome. All right. And for everyone that's watching here on the live, thank y'all so much for coming out. If you're watching this on the playback, I'm going to encourage everyone to go over, click on the link in the description box below. Check out Joel and Christy's channel. They have some amazing things there, and use that as not a comparison tool, but a tool of inspiration as you can go on your hauling journey and also cooking at home, because again, that can save you so much money. Yes. And thank y'all so much for hanging out with me just for these few minutes.
Thank you for having
us. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much, and I will see y'all next time.